40 and 50-year-old men trying to play 20-year-old college kids, along with some of the worst acting ever captured on film and special effects to match. We watched Halloween Night. We watched it so you don't have to, so you know what time it is.
Horror, so bad and scary. Splitting up is never okay. Plot, who needs it? Don't turn on the lights. Cars don't ever start, but that's alright. Running upstairs instead of out the door. Good acting, what do we need that for? Horror, so bad and scary. Enjoy the show, but not really.
What's up, Moon Goons? Welcome to Horrible Horror, the podcast where we watch the worst of the worst in horror movies. I'm your host, Marshall Hampton. I should have said movies so bad they're scary. I'm your host, Marshall Hampton. I'll get it right someday. With me, as always, is my co-host, my buddy, Mr. Aaron Southworth.
That was a very reserved intro, but I kind of liked it. I mean, it was more classy.
Yeah.
It was more of a classy intro, and I'll
Because
take that.
this movie deserves nothing but
Class.
the class.
Yeah.
This week,
This is our Halloween week.
this is Halloween week.
So this is the episode releasing during Halloween week, where you think we're gonna maybe do something a little more fun or something a little bit more like classic. Nah.
Yeah,
Come on.
We're going way back. This is like
Back to our roots.
back to roots.
Absolute schlock.
This movie
Oh,
is
crapolas.
wow. We're gonna have a lot to say about this one when we get to it. But first of all, before we get to that, let's see if there's anything else I want to talk about beforehand. We'll mention our Patreon page. Always talk about that. I'm sure people are sick of hearing about it. But maybe the more we nag you about, maybe we'll just beat you in submission and you'll become a Patreon and help support us.
A better way to get support
Exactly.
than to mention that you're going to beat them into submission. Starting off strong.
Sorry, out of the gate hot. So yeah, we have a Patreon page. If you want to support us, we'd love that.
Yes, that's a better way of saying it. We'd really appreciate your support. You know, we do this for free. We do this for fun. Anything you do to support the show is greatly appreciated.
Yes. Really, other than that, this week I don't really have anything else to really talk about or plug. Other than it's just been a truly wonderful October. Like the last 2 days here in St. Louis have been just epically October weather. Just cold, cool. Not cold, but like cold, windy, gloomy, rainy. Like,
The leaves are turning.
the leaves have finally turned. Like this is like epitome of like this is what a true October. Not those shitty October movies you see in movies where everything's all nice and warm and leaves so green. Not California October. This is real. This is the real October, and it's awesome.
America's October.
America.
But yeah, man, my October has been. I've really taken care of myself with watching horror movies. And I know we talked about it last week. You said you haven't had a chance to watch it.
Yeah.
Did you take my advice? Take a little time for old MH and watch a good horror movie.
A good horror movie? No. I try to find the time. It's just been very hard to find the time.
That's incredible. Dude, I've been on it. Like, let's see.
I'm proud of you, man. I'm just like, I find time, like, I just can't. Like, I want to watch a horror movie. Like, instead of doing this, instead of sitting down time for myself, which you need time for. Everybody needs that time for. I haven't been able to do it because I keep having other things I need to take care of.
So I watched Halloween 5. First time I've ever seen that. That one sucked. But still.
You're in the consensus that a lot of people don't like 5.
I've never seen it. You know, so.
How have you not seen it? Dude, you've never watched that with me? Like,
nope.
of all.
And I haven't seen 6 either. Producers or originals. But that's the only one I haven't seen other than Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. I haven't seen that one either.
Yeah,
so,
you're probably not.
So right now, out of all the Halloween movies, I just have not seen Curse of Michael Myers and
6.
Halloween 2 Rob Zombie. And that's it. I'm almost done. So I watched Halloween 5. I rewatched Sorority Babes and Slime Ball Bolorama.
Yes.
Because I like that movie, so I watched that. I rewatched the original Halloween. I watched Hall of Famer Eamon Hardiman's movie Death Collector, Steve Death Collector.
Yes.
I watched that one. That was fun. That's one we might be able to do for the show.
Yeah, that's one that's on my list to get around to watch. Because mostly because we've talked to Eamon enough, and he's Hall of Famer. We talked to them and missed it enough that I should want to support and watch their stuff. But again, just haven't gotten around to doing it yet.
I also watched Dawn of the Dead, 2004
Man,
remake.
you're on it, man. I was thinking the other day, like, it dawned on me, like, I was like driving somewhere or back from an appointment or something. I was like, I actually got a little sad. Like, I had like the little Indian single tear come down. Like, I haven't had the October I want. Like, this has not been like, I haven't watched my Halloween. Normally every year I watch at least try to watch Halloween, the first original Halloween.
Yeah,
and then I try to watch some other ones, like even like Killer Eye Halloween Haunt's been in my rotation last few years, and that's only like an hour and 10 minutes long, hour and 5 minutes, and I still haven't gotten around to watching that one yet for fun. I like to do it as a watch along.
So do me a favor.
But yeah,
this week of all weeks, Marshall, Halloween's this Thursday.
Yeah,
take a little time for old MH. just book the time, and watch Halloween by yourself. All right,
I should try to do that.
Just book the time.
With that out of the way, let's talk about Halloween night. Now you're not having deja vu, guys.
No,
this is not Halloween night. I know we did one last week. That was Halloween night from 2006.
We're doing Halloween night
from 2009.
Hey-o!
So yeah, 2 movies with the exact same name, 3 years apart.
Independent as hell.
Yeah, super independent. Apparently, this one's also somewhere known as All Hallows Eve, but don't be confused because there's like another 3 or 4 movies with that title too.
All Hallows Eve as well.
So not really creative titles here to separate. For this one was released straight to video October 8th of 2009. Written by John and Mark Polonia, directed by Mark Polonia. You can find this movie free on Amazon right now if you
really want to. If you want to hate yourself a little bit.
Yeah, you might want to just listen to this and judge for yourself if you really want to watch it afterwards. But if you want to, pause this now and go watch the movie and you come back. But
Amazon Prime.
We're giving you a warning. The cast, the only person in this movie we're even going to talk about briefly, or just not even really talk about, mention them, is Mr. Ken Van Zant.
Yes.
This is his second appearance on Horrible Horror.
Yes.
His first he was in Sharkenstein.
Sammy Hagar.
Where he played Sammy Hagar, harbor patrolman, right? Harbor cop, Sammy Hagar. So he's back in this, which should be mentioned where Mark Polonia also directed Sharkenstein as well. So this is his second appearance on this show now.
So I didn't do a deep dive, but I know it's the Polonia brothers.
Yes.
And one of them passed away.
Yes. John.
Yeah, prior to releasing this. Like he wrote this.
And he died before it came out.
This was an homage.
Which, if I was John looking down, I'd be like, fuck you. Although, to be fair, he did help write this garbage turd, so he's part 50% to blame as well.
He might be fist pumping. He might be like, all right. Yeah. Who knows?
So this movie's so bad. Like I'm getting ready to go to battle here. Like you can't see, but I'm like I've got my sleeves rolled up. Like I'm rolling my sleeves. I'm getting ready for like the guns are out. I'm like, oh, let's get ready. He's
cracking his knuckles, got his sleeves rolled up. He's putting on a headband. I don't know what's going on here.
This movie,
he's like looks like he's about to fight me. I'm like,
whoa, dude, to fight this movie. We are going to war with this movie, and so let me get my battle juice going. Oh, there's the battle juice, and all right, guys, here we go. So the movie opens after it says "For John," which you're like, poor John. But we open with shots of like random B-roll, like farmland or somewhere, and a voiceover guy that talks about once a year evil comes down to Earth and fills the night air and blah blah. It's stupid. It's dumb.
But it. You know what? It was building. It's trying to build atmosphere, and I know you're gonna probably. I'm almost scared to say it now that you got your fucking battle juice going and your sleeves rolled up. But it made me think a little bit of the beginning of Halloween 4. The atmospheric intro, like the farmland.
Oh, yeah.
The scarecrow, the different spooky decorations that are set up, and the cornfields, which is exactly what they did. It was
it's very Halloween 4. Yeah, I didn't even think about that, but you're right. It's very similar to that.
Yeah.
Just the voiceover is
different.
It's bad, and it is poorly written.
But it's trying to create atmosphere.
It's
and
trying.
At first I'm like, okay, I'm on board
for
the first 30 seconds.
30 seconds of it. And then we cut to, hold on, my notes are a little weird this week. So then we cut to one of our main characters who later we find out is named Creepy Harold.
Oh, fuck.
So good old CH is standing over a pumpkin that's sitting on a cloth-covered pedestal and bathed in a spotlight.
Yeah.
He runs his hand over it like it's a beautiful woman's naked body, and then he holds up a small knife.
Hey, when I'm looking for the perfect pumpkin, when I'm at the grocery store looking for my card, I kind of do the same thing.
You found that pumpkin like
I
a pair of boobies?
put it on a pedestal. I like wash it off, bathe it in light, and just kind of like rub my face and then rub my hands over it, nuzzle it a little bit.
You motorboat the pumpkin in?
Tap it a little bit, see if it's got good consistency. Yeah, so I've been there, baby.
So, CH then plunges the knife into the top of the pumpkin, starts like just like hectically carving away at it, while the camera goes in like spastic seizure mode.
Yeah, it's like a weird like effect filter. You know, like really crap. It's
weird.
It's like a stock option. You know.
He then pulls the top of top of the stem off, and we see the pumpkin's filled with like blood and like muscle tissue and like,
pork tenderloin.
It's weird shit. Just okay. So we have bloody pumpkin.
Yeah, to be perfectly honest, when I saw him stabbing into it, it's going, and my first thought was, what do you bet when he pulls it open and it's bleeding? And all of a sudden he pulls out, there's like bloody muscle. I'm like, yep.
And he carves the old jack-o'-lantern face into pumpkin, which continues to bleed. And then he starts hearing a whispering voice calling out his name over and over again. He then sticks his fingers into the pumpkin's mouth. The pumpkin bites off his hand.
You just hear a crunch sound.
Yeah, you don't actually see the pumpkin move because it's off screen.
You just hear crunch.
Yeah. He holds up his bloody stump then. Harold wakes up screaming in his bed. He goes to wipe the sweat from his brow, and we see that his bloody stump is where his hand should be.
He wipes the bloody goo all over his head.
Yeah. He then like falls back into bed, holding the stump and laughing. And then as soon as his head like hits the pillow, we see that his hand is back to normal. Everything's fine, and he continues to laugh a bit more.
And then he just gives himself the iron claw for like the next minute.
Yeah,
he does. He's like rubbing his face, grabbing his face with his hand, and it just goes. It's a long shot.
Yeah. Now we roll opening credits, and we cut to Harold outside. Who, by the way, we're gonna talk about this a lot, but we'll mention Harold, the guy who plays him. I think it's like Tim Carpenter, Todd
Carpenter.
Isn't like his mid 40s or older, and he's got like graying, scruff like Hulk Hogan hair.
Oh, I'd say he's like 50. Maybe
he's like it's hard to tell. I mean, he's at least 45 or older.
At
least. I'm just saying he could be in his 50s, but I'm saying at least minimum 45.
He's got the skullet.
Yeah,
going on.
The Hulk Hogan here. It's like the ball on top, like the ring around it. It's like a long,
and it's long, gray and matty, like
it's all scruffy,
unkept.
Yeah,
and he is an older man, kind of out of shape.
Which
he's an old dude.
Yeah, but just keep that in mind because that's how old he is. Because we watch, and at this point, he starts making a scarecrow in his backyard. He's stuffing it with hay, and it's slow and boring as fuck.
And it's long. Yeah,
it's so long. It's like it's like in real time. We're like, oh my god, we get it.
This movie, just really quick, has a lot of those type of scenes.
Yes, it does.
Where it's just they're just showing something that's happening for a good 10 minutes, and there's no dialogue, and nothing's really happening. They're just showing people
doing shit, and it's way
slow.
Too long.
Like, what's that sound? And slowly walk around for 10 minutes.
Yeah. Eventually, he does finish the scarecrow. And he hangs it up on his stick or whatever. And then we cut to our two main college girls, Tracy and Liz, who look every bit of 32.
Oh, my God.
Walking over from class along a peaceful suburban sidewalk. Again, if you want to make comparisons, another very Halloween trope every time. But at this point, like, because of Halloween, every time I see this scene in a movie, I'm like, oh, they're ripping off Halloween. But at the same time, it's like, people walking over from school is like, yeah,
it happens all the time.
It happens all the time. But it's still that's the first thing that pops in my mind. Oh, Halloween.
It's just so iconic in Halloween and so well, it's
actually well done.
Especially when you call the movie Halloween and you have another movie called Halloween Night. Yeah, you're obviously going to be drawn to those comparisons.
Yeah,
but yeah, it's just tough to get by with that these days.
So they come to Harold's house where Liz makes some comments about how gross and creepy Harold is. Just kind of said, oh, he's the town weirdo and nobody likes him, and he's
creepy Harold.
Tracy sticks up for Harold, saying he's not that bad. And come on, Liz.
I've talked to him a few times. He's a little weird, but he's normal. He's not a bad dude.
So they walk off talking about what they're going to wear for the Halloween.
And how they have to go pick up their kid from
for
softball
Halloween
practice.
Yeah.
Because they're like 35 years old.
while we see Harold painting and working on a homemade mask inside that looks something that Greg Nicotero will shit out of his ass. You know what? I take that back, because anything that Greg Nicotero would shit out of his ass would still be 1,000 times better than whatever the fuck this thing was that he was working on. It's bad. It's bad. It barely even looks like a mask. The only thing you can tell it's a mask is you see one like white like eyeball kind of sticking out. All of that, it's like you can't even tell what the fuck it is.
I vaguely remember that scene, but yeah.
So Harold gets up, goes over to his window, and stares out at his scarecrow. And then a man with a blonde mullet and a ski mask on pops up in the window, shouting, "Creepy Harold! Creepy Harold! Come on, Creepy Harold! Come on, Creepy Harold!" And then he dashes off. Harold says, "No, not the scarecrow!" And we see two more masked men beating and breaking apart the scarecrow. One of the guys grabs and restrains Harold as he comes out to save the scarecrow, while the others tear apart the scarecrow. And then for good measure, one of the guys just straight punches Harold in the gut.
Gives him a good gut shot.
Good shot. The three dudes run off, get in a truck, and drive away, leaving Harold crawling over to the remains of his scarecrow.
Of his destroyed scarecrow. Yeah. Now, when you think of pranksters and ski masks, you think of skinny teens.
Skinny teens, but don't jump the gun on this one yet.
But you can tell just by seeing them, these are large people.
We cut back to the dudes in the truck. I will say this also. I should have said at the top of the show. Be prepared for a lot of audio clips of this one, because you are getting.
Oh boy! I'm glad about that.
And we got one coming up in a minute. We got first one coming up real quick.
Hot dog.
So we come back to the dudes driving in the truck. They're driving away as like hillbilly banjo music plays, which is a really fucking weird choice because it now makes the movie more like a shitty comedy movie than like a shitty horror movie. This is just a odd choice to make. The truck comes to a stop, and the men get out and unmask, and that's when we see that they're all like 50-year-old dudes.
Like 40s.
They're like at least 40. Right, well, there's three of them. Like I said, these fuckers are supposed to be young college students. And like clearly they're in one of them like in his 50s. The other's like probably in his 40s, and there's the third one, JJ, we learn his name. He might be in his late 20s, but even that's pushing it. That's pushing it. He's like at least in his 30s.
Maybe his early 30s.
Yeah. I'm saying.
Then these guys are middle-aged men or old men.
Or older, yes. And holy fuck, is this scene terrible. The writing is complete trash, and the acting's even worse. And this is where I'm going to play this first audio of this garbage heap of a scene.
Get ready to clean out your ears afterwards.
Yeah, it's about 2 minutes long. So, here we go.
Well, we sure got Creepy Harold good this time, didn't we, guys?
That'll be a Halloween prank he won't soon forget.
No, stop, don't. The Scarecrow's my friend. What a loser.
All hail the Halloween gang. Matt, JJ,
Nick! Now what do we do?
Hey, tomorrow's Halloween night. Let's have a party.
Yeah, a Halloween party. My parents are away for a few days. As long as we clean up afterwards, they'll never know the difference.
Great, man. The wildest, craziest bash ever assembled under one roof.
This'll blow the others away.
Great. We got a lot of shit to do. Let's get started. We gotta buy booze, invite chicks, get costumes.
Get laid, get drunk, get laid.
I've got a handle on a few sorority girls. They love to party. And how about the Alpha Beta guys? They can get us all the booze we want.
No way. They'll bring the booze, but they'll leave with all the women.
Yeah, he's right, man.
We'll buy our own booze.
Yeah.
That's what you're dealing with, guys.
That's the
Halloween gang.
That's the Halloween gang.
Matt,
holy fucking JJ,
CJ,
Nick,
whatever their fucking names are.
So it's just so bad. We have to talk about this shit. Okay, first of all, like we said, it's comical. They're 40, 50-year-old men, and one was like worried about their parents not being at the house. Like, well, my parents ain't home. Like, dude, you're 45.
Dude, your parents are probably in Florida, retired.
Yeah,
they're probably in their fucking 80s.
And like, where are we gonna get the beer from? Well, buy yourself. Yeah, you'll buy yourselves because you've been legal for 20 years.
Your doctor tells you to stop drinking so much. You're 45 years old.
Oh, and
Dude, you're not 20 years old anymore.
so also you can't obviously can't see it, but during their little roll call shit where they're like going the Halloween gang doing and like Matt, JJ, Nick, they each of them like
They fist
bump into the air. That they pump their fists into the air and then freeze frame after they say their name, like they're fucking Judd Nelson at the end of the Breakfast Club.
Yes,
it's like real fist pump freeze frame.
Yes,
and then they
go right back.
And then they go into it, but it's the weirdest fucking shit. And then for some reason, at the end of the scene, they get back in their truck and drive away. But they all decide to put the ski mask back on. It's like. Why? That doesn't make any fucking sense. So you go rob a bank now? Is that how they're getting their beer? Just gonna go rob a place and get their beers?
I'll get the beer. Don't worry, guys.
Keep the car running. Like, what the? Why you put these masks back on? It can't be easy to drive that shit.
Gonna go beat some more people up, take their money.
So, like I said, to clarify, we have Matt, who's played by Ken Van Sant. He's the guy with the feathered blonde mullet.
Oh God, he looks like Stone Cold Steve Austin with a wig. You know,
yeah, that's too much credit for him.
It's that goatee. He looks like a wannabe. So let me put it this way.
Well, basically he looks like Stone Cold Steve Austin when he was stunning Steve Austin.
But with that goatee, that's like a dyed goatee.
Yeah, he's got like a brown dark goatee, but like blonde hair.
It's so weird looking.
Yeah,
this guy is such a weird looking guy. I kind of love him.
Or kind of more like Hulk Hogan did when he was Hollywood Hogan, because he had the blonde hair, but he had the black facial hair.
Yeah, which was weird. Yeah.
So, JJ's the youngest of the three, and Nick's a bald guy with like a Van Dyke facial hair, and that's basically what you need to know.
He kind of looks like Jay Glazer.
He
kind of does.
Yeah, kind of does.
Should be announcing like Aaron Rodgers is questionable coming back with his knee, and I need to get more beer for the Halloween gang.
Because my parents are going away for the weekend.
Back to you, Terry.
So we go back to Harold, who's still picking up a piece of his scarecrow, and he finds Matt's wallet on the ground. He opens it up, looks at Matt's driver's license, which they show on camera.
Yes.
Which was a mistake.
Yes.
Because
did you pause it?
If you pause it,
which I did.
Which I did too. You can clearly see this quote-unquote college kid was born in 1957, which makes him, at the time of this movie being filmed, 52 fucking 2, trying to play a 21-year-old college student.
Dude, I saw that and I was like, oh, that's his real
Yep.
license?
That's his real plate. That's it. Oh.
You notice they cover up his name and address.
They covered the name and address, but they didn't cover up the
birthday
birthday.
is right there.
Right there.
1957.
Oh my God. This is like one of the worst things I think I've ever seen in a movie. This is the fact they let that slide is utterly ridiculous.
And I kind of love it. I kind of love it.
In a way, I just probably give him too much credit, but I'm hoping that wasn't like intentional. Like we got a 52-year-old guy playing a 20-year-old. Like it's like, I don't know. I feel like I have. I feel like at this point I want to read the blurb.
Yeah.
That they say about what this movie is about when you're on Amazon, what it says, the description of the movie. And it says that it reads as follows: a bullied student.
Yes.
Which
we've already established he's not a student.
Which would be Creepy Harold.
Right.
Exacts revenge on those who wronged him during a college party on Halloween night. So, just again, we have a student who is at least 45 to 50 years old in Creepy Harold being bullied by other college students
45 to 50 years old.
Or 52 years old. What? What? Are you kidding me? Like, Jesus.
It's never too late to start your dreams.
You're right.
Marshall.
Yeah, I guess, they went back to school. I guess that's possible.
It's never too late to start your education.
These were the high school dropouts who decided to go back. And, oh, God. So, yeah, our bullied student's 40-something years old, and the college bully is 52.
Well, don't you remember going to college
with a mullet
and seeing, like, every blue moon, every once in a while, like a person who's well older than everyone else?
It depends on the school, but yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, like there's a junior college nearby, Swick, so but that was like that's the thing. That's a 2-year junior college, so you see like or a part-time school. So And that's what, you always see like a 40-year-old like soccer mom coming back, taking a lesson here or there, or somebody else older occasionally. But like when I was in college, when we were in our 18 to 22-year-old college years, when we went away to school, you went to a big one, so you may have different. I went to a smaller school. No, there was nobody that was like older. And I think my freshman year, there was one guy, his name was Brett, who was I think 32 at the time, but he was like. But he wasn't living on campus. He commuted. He was there. He was a music. He'd come and go. And that was that. But after him, no, everybody else, there was nobody who was like over the age of like 22 at my school.
There was,
unless they were a teacher. But
I did go to a little larger school. So it was, I saw it maybe a little bit more often. I mean, don't get me wrong. It wasn't common, but you'd see him. But this is way too much.
Yeah.
This is way too much.
So now we crossfade to a medical research building lab where the night security guard does his round, and we see Harold, like fucking Catwoman, sneaking into one of the labs.
What a weird choice, like Catwoman.
Well, I was trying to think of like
it's so funny to me. Here comes, and it's like, I think it's sexy Selena Kyle, or like Michelle Pfeiffer, or Eartha Kitt, or something like that. And it's like, and then you're equating that with Harold, creepy Harold.
All right, you're right.
Sorry.
But he sneaks into one of the labs at night and steals a human fucking heart that's just sitting there in a glass jar of red Kool-Aid, basically.
Sure.
The heart's not on ice. It's not in formaldehyde. Nope, just in a glass jar with red Kool-Aid in it. Harold then flees the scene with the heart, not with a cooler full of ice or anything, just wrapped up in a bloody rag.
Wrapped in a dirty, oily rag.
Yep, and off he goes.
You just had to blow his nose, maybe?
Yeah. So, our Harold's also a fucking cat burglar. He's like fucking Catherine Zeta-Jones now doing from what was that movie?
Entrapment.
Entrapment. Thank you.
When she does like the butt lower thing,
the sexy super butt thing under the wire.
The sexy thing through the laser beam.
Yeah.
She's got to like navigate through them. That's
so
the only thing good about that movie.
Yeah, that's the only good thing about that movie. Now we go back to Harold, back at his house. And not only is he a master burglar, he is also apparently a warlock necromancer who now is a specialist in black magic.
And the dark arts.
Yes. Because he's doing a ritual.
Harold's a man of many talents.
He's a jack of all trades. Yeah. He has painted eyes on his hands, and he's wearing like a black hooded robe or something like that.
Druid-like robe.
And did you notice Harold is also married, by the way?
I did not.
Because he's got a wedding ring on his finger. Creepy Harold's married.
Creepy Harold has an old ball and chain somewhere
that we never see.
Is it a scarecrow?
It might be, but he's wearing a wedding ring. He sits in front of his coffee table that is covered with lit candles and a book with a pentagram on it. And the heart which he stole is sitting on a blood-stained white towel. He waves his hands over the heart, going like, boogie boogie, abracadabra.
Yeah.
And the symbol on the book cover begins to glow. More hand waving, and then he pours some wine, I think.
The elixir?
Elixir?
The elixir.
Yeah.
He goes, now I have created this elixir.
Okay.
Really? You created fucking Night Train?
Yeah.
Because that's what it looks like, man.
Yeah. Mad Dog, maybe?
Yeah.
So he pours on the heart, which makes some shitty CGI light effects erupt out from the heart. There's really bad effects in this movie. They're terrible. Then we see some purple flames or energy or something coming out from the heart. Harold then rubs the glass with the wine, which then too has a spark of purple energy for some reason.
Lots of these stock kind of.
Yeah, it's like stock effects.
Stock effects that you can get on. Now you can get them on your phone, and you can do it. You can do it right now.
Yeah, pretty much what it is.
Yeah.
So that's it. That's what we see. Night has fallen. A storm's rolling in.
And he basically enchants this heart.
Yeah, he's back outside with the remains of a scarecrow. He kneels down, pours some of that elixir on the scarecrow. Maybe it's water. Maybe it's fucking vodka, hell. Maybe it's acid. Because as soon as it touches the scarecrow's shirt, it begins to sizzle and smoke, which is also some more shitty CGI smoke and whatever. Then Harold talks to the scarecrow, calling it friend, which, goddamn... Listening to Harold makes me feel like I'm being chloroformed. Seriously, if any of you out there are listening, if you have trouble falling asleep at night, just listen to Harold speak and it will knock you the fuck out.
Hear the acting chops on Todd Carpenter.
I got this. I got the clip. I'm just gonna play it. Here's Harold summoning the spirit of Scarecrow, or he's doing something. I don't know, but here it is.
Now, my friend, let's see if all these years of toil bear fruit. The evil winds in this ancient ocean breathe life into your hollow shell.
So that's Harold's mumbo jumbo bringing the Scarecrow to life.
And Harold, you might think to yourself, okay, Marshall, you're being a little harsh because he's speaking, he's being creepy and ominous by himself. No, he talks like that the entire movie.
Yes.
No, not the Scarecrow, when it's an action scene.
Yeah.
And when he's talking, he's like, hi, how you doing? He talks like this the whole time.
There's
no inflection up,
exactly.
no inflection down, and he sounds like he has like 2 marbles in his mouth. Just screwing up where, hey, you can't.
There's a word I really want to say.
There's something you really can't understand too much exactly how he's sounding. But
he's not Droopy Dog. That sounds like fucking Droopy Dog.
You got a problem with Droopy Dog, Marcel?
Because that's better than Harold. Harold doesn't even. That's better than Harold sounding. But
yeah, it's
horrible. You're gonna hear more later in the movie. You'll get examples because there's a lot more to come. So what happens next is Harold places the stolen human heart into the chest of the Scarecrow, which then bursts into purple flame for a moment, and then the heart begins beating. Harold never really covers up the heart or stuffs it into the Scarecrow chest.
No,
he just leaves it sitting out on the open, which is kind of weird.
Yeah, and the Scarecrow's kind of disheveled. He's barely got it together.
Yeah, it's barely together.
It's just his clothes with all the hay, like because
it's a flannel shirt on the ground with some hay on it.
Because the Halloween crew,
the Halloween gang,
thank you, ruined it, and
yes.
so he didn't put it. It's a fucking Scarecrow. It's not hard to put back together.
Yeah,
God damn it!
But I'm saying if you're gonna, it would make sense. Like, okay, I get what he's doing, but in every other movie or
put it in the goddamn shirt.
You actually put the heart into the chest. Don't just leave it sitting on top of him because it doesn't do it. It's gonna fall off. But anyway, it's fucking stupid.
It worked. Whatever.
Yeah,
what do we know?
Yeah, what do we know?
We're not
we're not warlock necromancers or
yeah.
whatever the fuck. So the wind begins to pick up as shots of horrible CGI lightning are shown, which are so fucking laughable. I'm like, why in the hell would you decide to use this shitty CGI lightning? Like, are you serious? Like, you're telling me that not one of these dipshits that were involved in making this movie could find any B-roll of lightning? And I mean, come on, that's like practically B-roll 101.
It's a really good point.
Like, it's fucking lightning. There's B-roll of that anywhere. Go on fucking YouTube and get lightning video or something. Like, why? Which would be cheaper than probably putting the money into this shitty CGI, and it would look better. This is, like, I can't get beyond, like, I can't. I guess
it's
I
a
can't.
really good
But
point.
it's a terrible decision. It's terrible. It's so bad.
Marshall's flexing his guns as he's saying this. He's getting worked up.
So, anyway, I gotta move on. The wind really starts to blow now, and the Scarecrow.
Honestly, this is probably the best practical effect in the movie. Is all this wind blowing around, the leaves blowing around.
The fans.
I actually kind of liked it. I kind of liked it. I thought it looked all right.
Yeah, it is. It's the best practical effect. It's just blowing leaves. So the wind starts. Yeah, the Scarecrow stands up. It looks at Harold, and Harold and Scarecrow look at each other for a moment, kind of staring at each other. And then Harold speaks, and this is where we get more audio clip of Harold again, telling the Scarecrow shit. So here we go.
The time of vengeance draws near, and we have much work to do.
So that's just a short clip. It's not the greatest clip, but again, it proves the point that it's the exact same cadence and tone and lack of any kind of human emotion whatsoever.
Not quite Droopy Dog.
Not quite Droopy Dog, but time for vengeance is now. We have much work to do. That's what he talked like. It's just that bad. Like it's so.
And he's like that the whole time.
Whole movie. Harold and Scarecrow shake hands, and Harold laughs. Like, put it there, partner. Let's make a business deal.
Let's go.
So we cut to Tracy waking up in her bed. She looks out the window and sees the Scarecrow standing there holding an axe. So for some reason, she decides to go out to her garage.
Dude, no, I love this because she looks at it And it's pretty clear. There's a spotlight on him. There's
Yeah.
lighting technique on him. She closes her eyes, rubs them like a goddamn cartoon character. Opens it back up, and it's gone. I'm like, holy shit, it worked. It actually worked. Like, I wish I could do that with, like, I was at a restaurant last night, and I saw the bill, and I'm like, holy shit, I wish I could go, squeaky, squeaky, squeak, and open it up, and it'd be going, whoo. Glad I didn't see that. Like, it was such a cartoon moment. I'm just hand on head.
Face palm.
Oh.
So, yeah, like I said, for some reason, she decides to go down into the garage where she finds a pencil drawing of the Scarecrow holding an axe.
Exactly what she just thought she saw.
On the floor of the garage. She goes out her back door of the garage. They have a look outside, and she sees nothing. Harold pops up from behind a tree as she goes back inside, and then he kind of just ducks behind the tree again.
So that scene that Marshall described, we described in about a minute 30 seconds. That's like a 5, 6, 7 minute scene.
Yeah. Night passes, the sun raises, and it's Halloween morning. Tracy's getting ready. Oh, excuse me. She's getting ready. She gets a phone call. When she answers it, no one seems to be on the other end, so she hangs up, and we cut to Harold sitting in a high back chair, looking like he's part of like an old-timey Christmas special. Because he's wearing like a white dress shirt with a blue sweater vest over it. He's sitting in front of a fireplace that's decorated with red Christmas lights. And he's sitting in like a high back chair. And the phone he's holding is one of those super, super old original like telephones that has like the two separate pieces.
An old-timey phone with
And we're not talking like a 1980s like old-timey phone for you millennials out there. Like, we're talking like a 1920s. This is the phone that Thomas Edison fucking invented.
Yeah, this is Alexander Graham Bell's phone.
Yeah. No, not
this
Edison.
is you hold you have the earpiece that you hold to your ear.
Which is like a little wire, and the little megaphone like thing you hold to your ear, and then it's got the big black stick with
the microphone
with the yellow opening megaphone. That and he was like, "Hello."
You have to use two hands.
It's a two-handed one. That's what he fucking has for a phone.
Of course he does.
Like, what? So that was weird.
Interesting choice.
And why is he so dressed up? The entire movie, except for this one scene, the entire movie, he wears the same blue, or maybe red flannel.
Yeah. It's a flannel.
At one point, he wears a flannel over a flannel.
Yeah, he does.
But it's a blue or red flannel shirt, and except for this one time,
jeans, yeah.
He's wearing like he's going to a Christmas party.
He's got slacks on, a white shirt with a sweater vest. There's a fire.
Yeah.
He's got his old-timey phone.
Like, what is happening? So, Tracy's phone rings again. This time it's Liz. They chat about the party at Nick's house tonight. Tracy doesn't want to go because Matt's going to be there. So, we kind of get an idea that Tracy used to date the 52-year-old dude with the mullet, but she agrees to go for Liz's sake. So, now we get a montage of the girls shopping for a costume while Matt, JJ, and Nick set up for the party. During the montage, the girls bump into Harold, and Tracy invites him to the party.
Yeah.
We watch everyone get dressed in their costume.
It's a whole montage.
Yeah, Harold dresses up like a scarecrow. This is where he's wearing flannel on top of flannel. We skip ahead to the big party. Everyone's drinking, dancing, hanging out.
Can we go back to that montage really quick?
Sure.
During this montage, it's like like music's playing, and they're like, all right. She invites Harold to the party, and she knows everyone hates Harold.
Yes, everyone hates him.
She knows everyone. This is creepy Harold. No one likes Harold. She takes it upon herself to invite him to an odd guy's party. It's that. I was just like, God damn it, it's bitches like that just kind of fuck up parties. It's like, come on. If you really want to extend an olive branch to him, go out with him, or like take him out on a group outing or something like that. Inviting him to a party where there's going to be bullies and people that don't like him and drinking.
Drunks who don't like him.
And I'm just like, oh, God, that would never happen.
Yeah.
It just drove me nuts.
So, where was I?
I didn't articulate it very well, but that just...
No, I totally understand what you're saying. So, like I said, everyone's drinking, dancing at the party. Liz is dressed up in the unsexiest sexy nurse costume ever. It's pretty bad.
Really cheap.
It's super cheap.
During the montage, they were like looking at sexy outfits and they exchanged them like, oh yeah, this would be good. But they're like the $10 ones you get from the cheap section of the Halloween
like
store.
A Walgreens or a Target. They're not even that
really,
sexy.
really
they're
bad.
Just like the worst.
Yeah.
So at this point, I also realized, this is where I realized at this point in the movie that Tracy's name is actually Trixie. I've been calling her Tracy the whole time, but it's Trixie. Which is a terrible name for your main girl, your final girl. Trixie is the name of the slut that gets killed, like the first thing. Not a final girl.
Yeah,
Tracy.
You're right.
And so Trixie.
That should have been a sign.
Yeah. At this point, Creepy Harold and a Scarecrow arrive at the party. CH says to the Scarecrow.
Okay, I'm sorry to stop. I'm so sorry to stop you again. But
okay.
Fuck. Creepy Harold is taking the Scarecrow with him to exact revenge.
Yes.
That's his plan.
Yeah.
And we as the audience know this.
Yes.
He's taking the Scarecrow there to fuck people up.
Yeah.
Why would you dress exactly like the murderer that you know is going to be murdering people and look just like him?
Yeah.
Why would you do that?
You know,
why wouldn't you dress differently and be like, it wasn't me, it was the Scarecrow, instead of like, no, you're wearing the exact same outfit.
Yeah, I see your point. I thought the same thing. But then the other side of the coin is, okay, he dressed up the Scarecrow, so if people see this, he won't know it's him.
So he'll have an alibi?
I don't know if it's an alibi, but like they won't know. I don't know.
Because if let's say Scarecrow's killing someone in the backyard and someone sees it happen and is like, oh shit, it's Creepy Harold, or look at that guy who's dressed like that, and he runs in the party and sees the guy in the red shirt. It's, well, couldn't have been him because he's got an alibi.
Maybe
like
I don't know. There was some. You know what? You're the same thing you said. I can't articulate very well, but I thought the same thing, and I was like, oh, he's doing this so.
They're twinsies.
They're twinsies. So I guess if people don't see him, they'll see. I don't know, but you're right. It's
dumb.
It's dumb no matter how you want to look at it. It doesn't. It's stupid. So, where was I? Let me back up here. Yeah, Chris heads inside. He says, "You know who our chosen ones are," and Scarecrow nods. Harold goes inside while Scarecrow goes around to the back.
And that kind of implies that they have a hit list, if you will.
Yes, a hit list. Inside, Trixie argues with Matt while she's not getting back together with him. She spots Harold enter and goes over to say hi. And
I'm not getting back together to me. You lied to me. You told me you're 21. You're 50 fucking 2.
No, it's because he kept cheating on her because I guess so many college girls crave that 52-year-old dick.
Oh, man. Well, when you have like a fucking mountain of Cialis or Viagra.
With that sweet, feathery blonde mullet.
Hey, you know what? He's probably financially stable considering he's pretty close to collecting Social Security.
He's probably collecting retirement already, yeah.
He's already cashed in his 401k, Marshall.
Yeah. So, she goes over to get Harold, and she takes Harold to go get some punch or something like that. Harold takes his mask off to drink, and that's when Matt and JJ spot him and get pissed off that he's at the party. And JJ says, "Hey, let's teach him another lesson tonight." And it's like, "Oh, we're gonna."
They're gonna get him.
Yeah.
Not right now. We'll get him later.
Outside, some random party goer bumps into Scarecrow and gets lippy with Scarecrow.
Watch where you're going, asshole.
And Scarecrow just follows this random dude back into the house. Now, I want to mention at this point how much of a sausage fest this party is.
And mind you, the Halloween gang said this is going to be the wildest party on the wildest night.
Ever, yes. Liz and Trixie are the only girls at this party.
I think you're
and
right.
And after watching this turn of a movie all the way through and paying attention, I think they're the only two women in the entire fucking town. Because seriously, we never, ever see any other girls in this movie. Not even like extras in the background just hanging out. There are no women other than Trixie, and Liz in this entire movie. It's just dude dick everywhere.
Dude dick. Is there any other kind? Maybe.
Trans dick?
Yeah, okay, sure. But yes, this is dude dick everywhere.
Dude dick everywhere. So Matt, thinking the Scarecrow is Creepy Howard.
This is where you do get the mistaken identity.
Yes. Threatens it, saying, hey, that, if you lay one finger on Trixie, I'm going to kick your ass and blah, blah, blah. Scarecrow just stands there staring at Matt. So Matt tries punching Scarecrow in the face, but Scarecrow catches Matt's fist mid-swing and, squeezes it. Like Thanos to the Hulk or something like that. And Matt gets overpowered by a thing made of hay with no muscles. But he does back off. He's like, all right, dude, whatever, man, we're cool. And
he is 52.
He is 52.
His prime days are behind him.
That is true. So Scarecrow walks away while Matt flips the bird at Scarecrow, thinking it's Howard. Liz and Nick are slow dancing, which makes zero sense because the music playing is like hard rock dance music. Something like, but they're like slow dancing. It's fucking silly. It's dumb. It's really bad.
Attaboy.
So they decide to get 2 tickets to Pound Town, and they head upstairs to ride the Pipeline Express. We cut to the drunk rando party dude down in the basement, which then magically turns into a garage.
Yeah.
He keeps it in the basement, but it's a
he's
fucking garage.
Going downstairs. You see him going downstairs.
And then they cut.
And he turns. He's like, where am I? And they cut. And yeah, he's clearly in
a garage.
I want to say it's the same garage that was featured that had Trixie finding the picture on the floor.
I think
I think it's the same garage.
But it's clearly a garage, not a fucking basement. Where, again, we spend way too much time watching him drunkenly try to use a piece of workout equipment.
It's one of those humpers.
Yeah, it's the hump machine.
Tony Little, would use the hump, you grab onto it and you thrust your pelvis into it, and he's like, that's a great workout! Yeah, one of those things.
I think we actually had one of those, in the early 90s.
Your parents, when I remember growing up, I was over at your house all the time. Your parents always bought those fad workout equipments you'd find on TV. They got the Total Gym. Yeah. They got the Air Humper. I think they had a couple ab blasters. I think maybe a Thigh Master in there too.
We had no Thigh Master. We did have the
what's that thing you
the
put
ab
on?
roller.
Oh,
it looked like a little. It looked like one of those little mouse droids from Star Wars, only painted blue with handles on. You just get on your knees and roll on it. Yeah, it was.
Oh, you had all kinds of stuff.
Yeah,
your parents were really into that stuff.
But they never used it.
I know. But they were never really out of shape either. No. Your parents are kind of anomalies.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're not here to talk about that.
We jump back to Creepy Howard and Trixie sitting out on the front porch talking. This is supposed to be a sweet scene between the two of them and kind of them bonding and being friendly, but holy blue fuck, it's terrible. And I just want, again, this is where you're going to listen to the scene. You're going to listen. I just want to pass the fuck out listening to this because it's so boring and monotonous.
So we're going to make you listen to it.
We're going to make you suffer too.
How's your drink?
Fine, thank you.
I'm really surprised you showed up tonight.
So am I. No one here likes me.
That's not true, Harold.
It is. The only friends I have are the ones I created out of latex and paint.
I'm your friend, Harold.
You just feel sorry for me, but your kindness is appreciated. Your boyfriend, Matt?
Ex-boyfriend.
He's not a nice person.
You noticed, huh?
It may not be my place to say this, but you deserve to be treated better. Much better. You deserve to be treated like a princess.
That is so sweet. No one has ever said anything to me like that before.
Remember, Trix, the greatest gift you can give to someone is that of yourself. But never let anyone ever take away who you truly are.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Dear God.
It's so bad. Oh my God.
You should be treated like a princess.
Princess.
Oh my God, Harold, that's so sweet. No one's ever said. Are you kidding me?
I'm 32. No one's ever told me that before.
Dude, that's sweet talk 101.
Yeah.
That's the easiest thing you can ever say to anybody. You should be treated like a princess. Well, shit, that's what I said to my girlfriend when I was 12. Yeah. Fuck. No one's ever said anything like that before, Harold.
Remember,
really, bitch?
The greatest gift you can ever give to someone is yourself.
I.e., that pussy.
Don't let anyone take away who you are. What the fuck?
That scene is really awkward, too.
It's so awkward.
Guys, because Harold, obviously, he's like really. You can't really tell from the audio, but yeah, he is trying to be a more downtrodden and like, woe is me. And he has his head. He's kind of like got his head leaned against the wall.
Yeah.
As he's sitting on the back porch, and she's sitting a couple steps
Front
above
porch,
him.
yeah, but doesn't. Yeah.
She's sitting on a couple steps above him, and she's like looking off in the distance, not looking. They're not looking at each other during this entire like time they're talking.
You're right.
It's
There's
really
a few shots where they make it, but they're close up. I've heard it's like looking in his general direction.
But
you don't really see
they
them.
don't. You never see them looking at each other,
Yeah.
talking to each. It's really
It's
awkward.
always close-ups of their face. They're
Right.
never like in the same frame together.
And when they are in the same frame, she's sitting 2 steps above him, looking off in the distance as he's got his head like buried into the siding. It's really weird.
Yeah. So, oh shoot! I actually cut that clip off too soon. There's some more to it.
Do we have to?
Well, I'm trying to figure out my notes here because I said in my notes like what you hear at the end. So what happens is after that, Harold starts. The music, it's loud music, and Harold starts like going screaming.
He starts having like a seizure or something,
and he starts getting flashes of the Scarecrow killing someone, this seems to physically harm Harold in some way.
He's having a reaction,
and he runs away after warning Trixie to get away and never come back, and then he runs off.
Get away from here and never come back.
Yeah, and he runs away.
And she's like, God damn it, Harold.
You're like, what?
You were getting me all worked up.
Yeah.
With those sweet words.
Tell me I'm a princess? No, Jesus.
What are you going to do about this? As she points to her crotch. What are you going to do about this? This pussy ain't going to fucking sell.
Go get some of that Scarecrow hay dick up in here.
If you let her go dry, Harold, she's gonna go to that 52-year-old Matt dick, dude. You gotta be careful.
So we cut back to the basement garage, whatever the fuck it is, and the rando dude is still sitting on the workout thing, drinking a beer.
Oh God.
He says to himself, "I gotta take a shit," and then he farts. But the fart sound effect is more like a goddamn like sci-fi ray gun effect from like an old 50s sci-fi movie than a fart.
I got it was long and continuous. It was kind of like
But it was like I can't even do it. But it sounded more like a sci-fi sound effect from a sci-fi movie. I almost got that
when you
clip.
say sci-fi sound, I think woo 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 woo, you know, something like that.
No, it's a low rumbling, right? There's like a low, there's a low.
That's what I got.
But it's not a fart. And I'm like, seriously, either way, how?
Come
on, how hard is it to fuck up a fart effect? Like, how can you do that?
Yes. Very.
Like, you go, the ice blew into my hand. Fart effects on
Nailed
the
it.
that.
Nailed it.
Somebody could do that to a microphone. Boom. Put it on tape. We're done. But they still fuck up that up too.
I'm impressed at how well your fart came off there. Good job.
So Scarecrow pops up behind the guy and just punches through the back of this guy's skull. Scarecrow's fist comes out through the dude's face. And the dummy they used for this kill effect looks so bad, but I will give him credit for trying.
Yeah.
I'll give him credit for trying. If they would have just shown this effect in from the side in profile,
which they did at first,
it probably wouldn't have been that bad. It would make okay, whatever.
Yeah.
But but when they show it from the front,
when Harold's trying to, when Scarecrow is trying to pull his fist back, the dummy's like falling apart.
It's falling apart, and it's just like this big bulbous like paper mache head that's painted white. It doesn't look like a head. It's so cheap and bad looking from the front. Like they would have just kept it from the side profile.
It would have been fine.
It would have been that bad. Like it would have been passable.
And it starts to crumble and fall apart. You can tell it's not even a person. Like,
yeah, they should never have showed it from the front.
Yeah,
because you've gotten the same effect from the side view. He punches through, and you can still even have like a little bit of resistance when he's pulling his hand out.
It ruined the impact.
It ruins it. Completely ruins it. So after he pulls his hand out of the guy's face or skull, he does find an axe, a wood axe, hanging on the wall. And he takes it.
A brand new axe amongst a bunch of old tools.
Yeah.
So
somebody just went to Home Depot or something that day.
Someone from the props department sprung for the good stuff.
The party continues on, but the film does this weird time lapse thing here. So now it looks like the party's
winding down.
over. Trixie's still hanging out on the porch for some reason. It's been
So has she been on the porch this whole
That's what it makes
party?
it look like. Apparently, the party
Yeah.
hours have passed now.
Yeah,
the party's over.
They make it seem as if hours have passed, and they even talk about it. It's
Yeah.
like, well, that was a rager. Whoa, it's winding down now.
But that's exactly what I got. Like Trixie just hung out on the front porch the entire time.
Like waiting for Creeper Harold to come back.
Yeah,
Man,
I don't know.
She really wanted that creepy dick, I guess.
Yeah, Matt's passed out face down on a table somewhere. Nick and Liz are enjoying their post-coital sleep upstairs. Now it cuts to some dude we've never seen before who looks like he could be Tim Curry's cousin, drinking a beer, dressed like a surgeon, saying that his party has crashed and burned.
Oh, yeah. Also 45 years old.
Also, yeah, easily. Again, we have another couch guy, like is in his 40s. Like, it's terrible. He sits at the table talking to JJ about renting some horror flicks, and they go into this conversation about that. Tracy finally comes back inside. Matt lets out another ray gun fart. Again, they fuck up a fart effect.
Give me a better fart again. Yeah, nailed it. Bravo.
So there you go.
All right.
Then it shows Scarecrow outside fucking with everyone's cars, like cutting wires from underneath hoods and ripping out like convertible. Like,
Dude, they could have nailed it with just like him opening up one, ripping out an engine, like ripping out a few cords and walking away. They show him do that to six cars. All the same car. They just basically recycle the shot 6 times.
Yeah.
It was almost like a GIF, like those like those boomerang GIF kind of things, you know, like over and over again.
Yes. And then he goes over and cuts the power to the house along the phone lines as well. Scarecrow then goes over to the DJ, the guy we saw as a DJ throughout the party. He's loading up his gear into the car.
He's getting ready to leave.
Yeah. So the DJ bumps into Scarecrow and asks him, "Hey, dude, can you get on my way so I can leave? The party's over. I just want to go home." And pretty polite about it. But Scarecrow's like, fuck that. He raises his axe high above his head.
Ever so slowly.
Super slow. DJ just stands there watching the axe being raised above Scarecrow's head.
What are you going to do with that, man?
It's so slow. And the DJ gets an axe to the face, killing him. And holy shitballs, does this makeup job look horrendous.
Because it looks like shitballs.
It does. It doesn't look like an axe wound at all. It looks like a bad burn makeup.
It looks like someone smeared poo-poo on the side of his face.
And yeah, it's just black paint on the face, and they add some blood or something, and they called it a day.
It looks like they smeared crap on the side of his face.
You're right. Yeah, good point.
And when he said, holy shitballs, I'm like, yeah, you nailed it. It looks like shitballs smeared on the side of his face.
Also, I'm also confused now because the first 2 people Scarecrow have killed were not on the hit list.
Yeah.
So what's the point of having this hit list and like Harold's like, I'm controlling you will kill these people that have wronged me. The DJ's done nothing except for play some shitty music, so like maybe kill him for that. I don't know. But and then the other dude's just a drunk a-hole bopping around. Never even him and Harold are never even in the same scene together.
He did call the Scarecrow an asshole.
Yeah, but okay, but I guess.
But that's worth killing a man for.
Scarecrow then has some free will. I guess he's not
right.
magically
like,
controlled.
And if you killed somebody for calling you an asshole, you need some help, pal.
Yeah. I don't like. So the whole hit list thing is already like forgotten about and tossed to the side.
If I killed people for calling me an asshole, do you know how many times my wife would have died? Hey, blue collar wife humor here. Hey,
I'm expecting you to do the behind the head anodized clay cigarette smoke tongue now.
It's a visual gag.
Yeah, I know it, but
we're an audio show.
Yeah, I know, but it was in my head. Oh. It was in my mind's eye.
For an audience of one.
For an audience of one.
All right, here we go.
So, thank you. Anyway, upstairs, Liz gets up to go take a shower. Nick warns her that the hot water valve is broken. And so,
boy, is it hot.
Boy, foreshadowing.
Yeah.
She mentions that it looks like the power went out, which doesn't make any sense because we really started thinking about the last time we saw them. They're laying in a dark room with no lights on anyway, and they wake up in a dark room, no lights out. So how the fuck would they know that the power's out? Because the lights were off or already off. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
So JJ now decides to go downstairs to check on the breaker box, and then it's right back to Liz in the bathroom lighting candles and getting ready for a shower. If you haven't said already, I'll say it here. We haven't said it, so I'm going to say here. Liz is probably the best actor in this movie, and she's not great, but she might as well be Meryl Streep in this cast.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree. She probably has the best acting ability of anybody here.
Unfortunately, no boobs are seen during any of the shower scenes at all. No nudity in this movie.
And it's funny that you mentioned that, and this is why. Last week, we kind of had a little tete-a-tete, a little back and forth about booby content.
The boob ratio was through the roof on that one.
Through the roof. And I said something to the effect of, hey, that movie had so many boobs, I could have used a little less boobs, a little more humor. Well, this movie had 0 boobs, and I'm sitting there going,
where's the humor?
Well, I thought to myself, oh, I was wrong. I was wrong.
And that's why I said that's like, you never say less boobs. You never say less boobs.
I apologize. I now realize the error of my ways. I see where I had a lapse in judgment, and I apologize.
That's very big of you to say. That's the first step. Acknowledging your mistakes, you learn and you move on.
Yes, because one thing I noticed that boobs do is it breaks the flow of monotony, and it helps the story for some of these really shitty movies.
Boobs are the gift that keep on giving. There's nothing boobs really can't do. And like boobs are just the answer to everything, really.
Because this movie could have really used some boobs.
Yeah. So in the basement, JJ finds a fuse box, but he's flipping switches, doesn't do anything. So he turns to go back upstairs, and that's when he gets hit by a swinging scarecrow dummy hanging from a rope. So somehow, some way, somebody, Harold or the scarecrow, had time to set up a booby trap.
So this scarecrow, also same outfit.
Exact same outfit.
Same outfit. So now we have three
scarecrows.
Three
outfits.
We have Harold dressed as Scarecrow, the killer Scarecrow, and now an actual
Scarecrow.
Dead, a lifeless Scarecrow.
Yeah. And he's hanging from a rope. Attached to this Scarecrow, the dummy one, is a note that reads, "You shouldn't mock things you don't understand. Beware the Scarecrow." At that point, the Scarecrow enters the garage basement, to which they...
JJ's like, whoa!
I had to say, like, if you know you're going to have to shoot the basement scenes in a garage, like, why wouldn't you just change the script and say garage instead of basement? Just say, guys, I'm going out to the garage. I'm going to go to the garage. Stop saying I'm going to the basement when you can clearly see in the background it's a fucking garage because there's a door and window leads outside and a garage door in the background.
I think there's a fucking four-wheeler in there, too.
Probably.
I'm pretty sure there's a four-wheeler in there.
So I just
a fucking ATV.
Simple change a word in the script and this doesn't become an issue. So anyway, Scarecrow walks up to JJ, who thinks it's Creepy Harold. JJ suggests that Creepy Harold get out of here because Matt really wants to put a hurting on him tonight. Scarecrow just kills JJ with another axe strap to the face. Now, this kill has the best makeup makeup gore effects we've seen so far. It's actually not that bad.
Yeah.
Not that bad. But I'm just going to say, keep in mind for later, he takes the axe to the left side of his face.
Yes.
Left side of his face.
Yes.
Keep that in mind.
Yes. And it's an independent movie. You can't, you gotta do what you work with. So it's like they show the axe up, they show it coming down, you hear thunk, and then you see the end result. So you don't actually see it going into the head.
But the end result, like I said, the makeup is so far. This is the best makeup gore effect we've seen so far.
You can see it. The axe looks buried into his face, and he's going, ah! Yeah.
So it's decent. It's passable. Upstairs, Matt wakes up. Tim Curry's cousin tells him that the party's over and that everyone's gone.
He may be one of the better actors, too.
Trixie goes outside to have a look around for really no reason whatsoever. She's like, I'm going to leave, guys. And she just walks out. And she proceeds just to walk laps around the house. That's all she does. She just walks laps around the house. She does spot Creepy Harold in the shed/barn who's holding a knife now. And she goes to try to track him down. And Harold hides from her while she briefly looks for him, but ends up leaving. And then Creepy Harold has more visions of the Scarecrow and Trixie
has another
fighting
one of those,
or something.
Seizure vision moments.
Premonition or something.
Yeah, where he sees Trixie fighting with Scarecrow.
Yes. Scarecrow enters the main house now, heads upstairs. Liz continues to wander around outside. I'm sorry, Tracy wanders around outside. Trixie. Now she finds all the cars have been fucked with. So in the bathroom, Scarecrow kills Liz. He walks in and kills Liz by burning her to death by turning the hot water valve all the way up and is holding her under the water.
Hold the phone.
Okay, I'm going to say, we can hold the phone, but all right. Holding.
Fuck this kill. Fuck it in the goddamn face with my Scarecrow dick. God damn it. We're talking, she's been taking a shower. She comments about how long she's been taking a shower. what kind of water heater do they have there that can generate that much heat and have that much like staying power? And did you see the shower? It's the shittiest goddamn shower I've ever seen in my life.
It's bad.
And water is just like, you can tell like the shower head has got lime deposits all in it because they're all blocked.
Yeah.
And it's just dribbling out the bottom. It's just like a big stream of piss coming down on somebody.
It really is. It's horrible.
It's like how it's basically dribble. It's a dribble shower. So you're telling me he holds her underneath the hottest, most scalding water that can kill a person after she's been taking a shower for so long. When how hot does this shit get? That just made me so mad.
Oh,
it's so lazy. It's so stupid. It's pathetic. You could have done anything else. Anything else. Boo. Boo this kill.
Oh.
Sorry.
No, I 100% agree with you, man. You said it. And what makes it even worse are the fucking terrible, shitty CGI effects they slap on top of it.
Oh, the steam effects?
The quote-unquote steam, which doesn't seem to come from anywhere. It's just right.
It's just on her face.
It's just on her face.
And then it's like they just use it's like a Snapchat filter
yeah,
almost.
Exactly. It's like it's like a
But
sticker.
worse.
It's like, but and then they switched like the camera angle from like a close of her face burning to like the scarecrow's arm reaching, and the steam. Again,
Doesn't move.
It's just there. It's like it's not coming. It's just there.
It's just there.
There's no source for it to be coming from. It makes zero sense.
It doesn't like flow up and flow down or flow around or
No.
anything like that.
It's terrible. And of course the burn makeup itself isn't completely terrible. It's just not severe enough to really make anyone believe that a person would die from this.
No.
Painful, yes, but fatal. I don't think.
Not.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Absolutely not. And because it's there's a spot on her head.
What it looks like is it's like if someone took like an old cigarette lighter from a car, well, a circular one, and like just stabbed her in the head with it, and then stabbed her in the cheek with it, and then stabbed her on the other cheek.
Yeah.
Like they're like circular burned dots from like a cigarette like car lighter. That's what it looks like. So Trixie runs back into the house and tells the others that the cars are all fucked up. Matt blames Creepy Harold and comes clean about their quote unquote prank, which is really more of an assault and destruction of private property than a prank.
Yeah.
Like, that's not a prank where you bring people shit and you basically you punch them. That's assault.
That's exactly what it was.
That's just assault.
Yeah.
There's no prank. Hearing this, Trixie says, "You idiot! Do you realize what you might have done?" And suddenly she's acting like Matt just released the Kraken.
Yeah.
Or that Matt just killed John Wick's dog. Like, what? Like, when is Harold like some secret badass that nobody knew about except for her? Like, oh shit, the switch has been flipped. Harold's going into John Wick mode.
Fucked up
you
now,
done
man.
Fucked us up now, man. Like, it comes so far out of left field. It makes zero sense of why she's like, do you know what you would have done? So Matt sends Tim Curry's cousins to go look for JJ, and then we jump to Nick upstairs sitting on the bed drinking. Scarecrow opens his door. Nick tells him, "Hey, dude, party's downstairs. Head back down, dance with everyone else. I'm gonna have sex with my girl. You can't watch. Blah blah blah." Scarecrow doesn't leave, so Nick gets up in his face. Scarecrow then grabs Nick by the top of his bald head, palms him like a basketball.
Yeah.
And then with his other hand, jams his middle and index finger up into Nick's nose, into a nostril, one finger in each nostril, and then lifts him up off the ground with the same hand. So he's like Grooting him, like Groot did in like Guardians of the Galaxy to that one prisoner. He's like Groots him, and so Nick wiggles around for a bit with fingers up his nose, and then we hear a snap, and Scarecrow just drops Nick's limp, dead body to the floor.
I gotta say, I was a little impressed by this kill. Because when he palms his head and he drives his fingers into his nose, he just shoots up straight into the air. So what I'm thinking is what it is, because they're shooting at him about the waist, a little bit above the waist, is that there's two guys on each side of him holding his leg, each leg. So when the fingers come up, because he just floats into the air. He just goes zoop, just raises straight up, and the camera follows him up. I bet you anything, there's two guys on each side that just go, now, and they lift because he just goes, whoop, just raises right up. I was like, what the fuck? And it was, it's like, it's distracting. It kind of like, it's like visually bizarre to see. I kind of liked it.
So TCC runs back to Matt and Trixie and tells them what he's found. Matt says that, okay, that's it, we're leaving. But that's when Creepy Harold pops up and says, that won't be necessary. Trixie's all like, thank God you're here, we need your help. But Creepy Harold responds saying, I'm not here to help you. I'm here with Scarecrow, who's gonna punch you or something like that. Like I'm here to help Scarecrow to punish you or something like that. That's what he says. Aaron's pouring out beer in a bucket right now. If you hear that in the background,
we're having major beer problems here. Marshall's fridge is the coldest goddamn fridge on the planet. It froze half the beers.
Yeah, it kind of did. So Trixie wants to know what's going on. So Creepy Harold's like, this is where he goes into like his evil monologue, which of course I'm gonna play for you guys so you can hear it because it's amazing. Yeah, here you go.
I'm not here to help you. With the help of the Scarecrow, I'm here to punish you.
What the heck are you babbling about, you nutcase?
Matt, let him talk. Harold, tell us what's going on.
Tonight is the eve of All Saints, the night of Hallow. And on this night, evil roams the earth. Last night, I called it upon my creation, and it breathed life into it. The night belongs to the Scarecrow, and so do you. Guess who he's coming after tonight?
No, Harold, please make it stop.
I'm sorry, Trix, but it's too late.
So there's his evil monologue. And again,
Tonight's the night of All's Hallow?
Yeah, All Hallow? What?
I've never heard it referred to in that way or mentioned in that
All
way.
Hallows Eve, yes, but tonight's the night of All Hallow? Like, what?
No. And again, god damn it. And they're all just standing there listening to him babble on about this ridiculous cryptic bullshit. And he's got his hands by his head, and he's kind of wiggling his fingers.
He's got one hand by his head, because the other hand he's holding on to his other flannel shirt. Because he's taking off his red flannel, and underneath is his blue flannel. But yes, he's got a flannel in one arm, and he's going boogity boogity.
He's just wiggling his finger by his head. And the whole time, I'm thinking, Matt just go, fuck that! You hear the glass shatter of Stone Cold Steve Austin, and just stomp across and just stomp a mud hole in him. Problem solved.
Yeah, and then,
which this is what he wants to do.
Yeah,
but of course she's like, no. Trixie's like, no, don't hurt Harold. Let him babble on.
And he's like, no, Harold. Please make it stop.
This is the best part. Is that Harold says all this shit and then just slowly turns around and walks into the darkness.
He walks away into the dark.
Slowly walks into the living room.
It's like Homer walked back into the bushes.
Yeah, just walks back in the living room.
They'll never see me in here. They can't follow me through the doorway.
If I hold still on the couch, they won't see me.
Exactly. And nobody goes after him.
No.
Nobody's like, get back here, you fuck. Like, what the hell did you do? Nope, they let him go, and they completely forget about him. Like, oh, fuck it. So the next best thing to do is what? Well, let's split up, of course. Trixie goes off to find Nick and Liz. Matt goes outside to, go after Harold.
That's the thing. That's the thing that I was waiting for you to say. You said they didn't do anything about it. I'm like, well, it's not exactly true.
It's not. You're right.
Because he goes outside, even though we just clearly saw Harold walk into the house.
In the living room. He's in the living room.
Clearly saw him go into the living room, and Matt's like, I'm going to kick his ass. I'm thinking, okay, he's going to go in the living room. He goes outside. And goes, I'm here, Harold. Come and fight me, you coward. Oh, God.
And meanwhile, Tim Curry's cousin just hangs out in the kitchen by himself.
No more than 30 seconds have passed.
Yes.
We just saw him go in the living room, and he goes outside to go kick some ass.
I wish he would have taken his shirt off. Like, come on, man, take my shirt. Let's do this.
I did notice that his he dressed up as a Jason character.
Yeah, his
I did
overalls.
notice his overalls did get zipped down quite a bit, and some chesticles were hanging out there.
Yes, that manly 52-year-old chest hair. So Tracy upstairs finds Nick's and Liz's dead bodies. Then goes to the window, looks outside. And at this point, so does Tim Curry's cousin. They both just happen to go look out the window.
Look outside, and they see Matt out there going, "Come on!"
Yeah, they stand there watching Matt, who's standing in, Matt ends up
peacocking.
He's peacocking, and he's standing in front of this totally not suspicious pile of leaves at all. Just
None.
Nothing suspicious about this pile of leaves that wasn't here before. Calling out for like, Harold, get out here, blah, blah, blah. And to no one's fucking surprise, the scarecrow bursts out from under the pile of leaves. Matt falls to the ground. Scarecrow stands over Matt, looking down at him. Matt says to this girl, I wish I had this tape because the way he says this is terrible. But he's like, Matt says to the Scarecrow, "You're not real. You can't hurt me." And like, it's so fucking laughable the way he delivers that line. At this point, I just can't with this movie. I just can't. Scarecrow punches down and through Matt's chest. Matt starts sounding like he sounds like a Murloc from World of Warcraft, and as he coughs up a tiny bit of mouth blood.
A what?
A Murloc. You never played WoW, so you won't know. But a lot of people out there who played World of Warcraft, the tens of millions of people do, don't know exactly what I'm talking about.
A what?
A Murloc.
Okay.
It's a fish creature. They're low-level fish creatures, and they're famous in World of Warcraft. Anyway, Scarecrow rips out...
I feel like punching to your chest right now. I'll start rolling my sleeves up.
Scarecrow, like I said, he punches through Matt's chest, and he rips out Matt's heart, which is also still beating for some reason.
Yeah, they have
a lot of beating hearts.
Really into beating hearts.
It's like an overall theme. This is enough to piss off Tim Curry's cousin, because he calls Scarecrow, "You rotten bastard!"
His balls drop.
And he charges outside. He grabs a shovel that just so happens to be leaned up against the house. TCC charges up behind Scarecrow, screaming, and swings the shovel at the back of his head. Scarecrow's head goes flying off like it was a T-ball. And then TCC, even though he like...
Tim Curry's cousin.
Yeah, Tim Curry's cousin. Who you would think...
He just knocked the Scarecrow's head off.
He Mark McGuire Scarecrow's head like into the upper deck. But he just drops the shovel and then runs back into the house like a cow.
So
like a
this is the way it goes. He runs out with the fury of 1,000 suns.
Yes. Like, "You rotten bastard!"
Grabs a shovel, runs up, boom, knocks his head off, goes flying, and he just runs out, hits it, and just keeps his momentum and runs right back in the house.
Runs right back in.
I mean, what the fuck? You just decapitated the killer.
Yeah.
You should be like, "King Kong ain't got nothing on me."
Exactly. You should celebrate. Be like, "I'm out of here." So
like Benny Hill's music could play during that whole skit. During that whole time, it'd be perfect.
Like, why would you run away from that? You just took off its head. It would make more sense if he ran away after watching the Scarecrow pick up his head and put it back on.
Which is what he did.
Which is what happens. But no, he runs away immediately and watches Scarecrow put his head back on while looking through the kitchen window. So Scarecrow gets back up. He gets back inside the house, stands face to face with Tim Curry's cousin,
who doesn't change their expression.
Oh, again, yeah, just like the DJ, just fucking stands there.
Stands there with he doesn't look scared.
Nope.
He doesn't look nervous.
Nope.
He doesn't look interested.
He looks like he's sitting we'll use the couch. He looks like he's sitting like a history, like a classroom lecture, just sitting there looking at the teacher. It looks like
someone's saying something. He's kind of struggling to listen. Like, I can't really hear him, but I can kind of hear him.
Yeah, like,
you know that face you make when someone's kind of talking a little too low, but you can kind of hear him. You're like, oh, you're struggling to listen. You're like, okay. He leaned forward. He's leaning forward, like,
yeah.
And as Scarecrow
Scarecrow raises his axe again and pulls it back, clearly about to swing it down at Tim Curry's cousin's head. I mean, it's obvious a mile away. He's cocking the hand up. Here comes the hand. Going to bring the axe down. But Tim Curry's cousin doesn't fucking move, doesn't do anything. Fuck no. He just stands there and lets Scarecrow cut off his head.
One clean swipe.
Head goes off. Payback.
Again, not a bad effect.
This one's not that bad. Yeah,
this
not
is actually
bad.
a pretty good effect.
Yeah, not too bad. So a tit for tat on that one.
Yeah.
You take my head, I'll take yours. Trixie is hiding in a closet that is pretty much wide fucking open too, by the way. Because you can see like they shoot from it and like the door's like almost halfway open. She did not close the door. So like I say, if you're gonna hide in a closet, you close the goddamn door. Scarecrow somehow doesn't see her in this room and turns to leave. Trixie comes out of the closet, tries to sneak back downstairs, and that's when JJ's dead body just falls out from fucking nowhere, even though he was dead in the basement garage.
So he had to be taken all the way
upstairs
to the second floor.
And where does he fall from? Because she's in a hallway, and he's like, does he fall? Was he like gorilla glued to the ceiling?
Right?
And
He
just falls out of nowhere.
It's a horrible reveal. But that means if he was technically in the quote-unquote basement.
Yeah.
You have to take him up the stairs to the first floor, and then up the stairs to the second floor.
All without being seen, and then have time to like prop the body somewhere.
He is wearing a gorilla outfit, so maybe he was gorilla glued to the ceiling.
Yes. So Trixie gets downstairs, and just like JJ's body, Harold pops up from nowhere and says to her, "Why didn't you leave when I told you to? Can't stop it now. Scarecrow and I are one." And again, we get another exquisite display of acting, which I'm going to play for your enjoyment. Enjoy this last, it's not the last clip, but here's one more example.
God damn it.
Oh no, there's more.
Why didn't you leave when I told you to? I can't stop it now. The Scarecrow and I are one.
You sick murderer! I hate you! I hate every ounce of you!
Don't say that. Don't you ever say that. Down here, Scarecrow. The last object of your retribution.
So, yeah,
you hear a spit in there.
You do hear spit there because she does spit on him. And that clip is probably the best example, like the best acting you get out of Harold this entire movie.
I would agree.
Got a little bit of inflection there. It's not
Come
great.
here, Scarecrow.
Yeah. So, yeah. Anyway, and at the very end, if you hear it before it comes up, you hear like a click or something. And
it's a Zippo.
Trixie pulls a lighter out from her tits and grabs a spray can of something off the table. And she does the old flamethrower trick.
And when Marsha says from her tits, he's not being cute and funny. She literally reaches into her bra like a classy lady does.
Classy lady.
Pulls out a Zippo.
No, this one was a Bic.
No, it was a Zippo.
Was it?
It was a
Are
Zippo.
you sure?
Positive.
All right, well, there's some notes I have later make zero sense. Okay, I'll correct them when I get to them. But
Pulls out a Zippo and gives... And when you think of the flamethrower trick that Marsha's talking about, you think it's going to be like...
Yeah.
No, it's and it's just a quick poof. But Harold, when he gets hit with this, he falls back, and holy shit, does he look like he's been to fucking Chernobyl? And the burns on his face.
The fire burst. It burns Harold's face, giving her a chance to flee, which she does.
Yeah, and it looks like he got fucking 3rd-degree burns on his face after this little poof.
Right. I mean, that's the level, dude. But the makeup effect looks like the same axe wound shit that we saw on the DJ's face.
He looks like he's got like severe burn that's been healing for a while.
Yeah, but like his entire left side of his face. Is
the whole side of his face.
From just a little like, I'm like, ah.
Yeah.
Like this might be enough to maybe singe
your hair?
eyebrows
Yeah.
or something, but that level of burns is like, no way is that,
Yeah.
way overdone. And it looks shitty on top of it. So anyway, Scarecrow follows after Trixie as she runs. She runs away. Scarecrow pulls out a knife now from nowhere.
Sure.
Throws it at her. The knife sticks into the back of her calf muscle. She falls to the ground, pulls out the knife pretty easily.
Like a boss.
Yeah, and then uses it to fight off Scarecrow, who just stands there and lets her slash at it Well, horrible sound effects I heard.
Oh, the sound effects.
Now, I have no fucking clue as to what the hell they were going for with the sound effect, but it's weird. Like, it's not. It doesn't sound like mouse. It sounds to me like almost like a cicada or other insect almost. Like
I almost got splashing, like a light splashing.
Whatever it is, it does not match with like a knife swiping through at something or cutting
Oh no,
something up.
not at all.
Their sound man,
their Foley artist
is terrible.
It's high.
Anyway, Trixie runs for the barn/shed, and which now has an open roll-up garage door in it, which didn't have earlier, but it does now. She gets grabbed by a scarecrow. They struggle. She gets tossed to the floor. Trixie then kicks out a piece of wood that was holding up the garage door.
It's good to be white trash and not have functioning garage doors.
Yeah.
Because it can save you in the end.
The door comes crashing down, pinning Scarecrow to the floor. She raises the door, and we see that Scarecrow now has been cut in half.
Has been
severed in two.
Yeah, severed in two, right at the waist.
Trixie then reaches out to touch Scarecrow's hand for some dumbass reason. Like she's going to grab it. But of course she gets grabbed. Of course.
Classic horror move.
Yeah. But she is able to scramble away, and we watch as Scarecrow's severed torso does a push-up, pushes its body up. Its legs then stand up by themselves, and its torso crawls over to the legs and climbs up them and reattaches itself.
For an independent movie, I liked this effect. I did.
Yeah, I agree.
You could tell exactly what they did, but they hid all the people involved in it. The camera angles were correct. The way they did it was correct. It was a good, practical, cheap effect.
I agree with you on that, yes.
And I appreciate that. I was like, good for you guys. You nailed it.
You did something right.
Yeah.
Backing away, Trixie bumps into a gas can, one of those like red gas gallons, whatever. She grabs it right as Scarecrow chops down it with the axe. The axe gets stuck into the gas can, and when he yanks the axe back and tries to shake the gas can off of it, the gas like spills down on top of Scarecrow. Trixie pulls out. This is where my note. I had a completely different line because I thought it was a bit. I thought it was a bit in the first scene.
It was a Zippo.
Okay, so because I just whole big back.
You had a whole rant.
I like endless
rant, tirade.
I didn't know about her cleavage was like a bag of holding from it just keep pulling shit out of it, like all these different things,
all kinds of different stuff.
Yeah, but okay, the Zippo is a Zippo, so I can't do any of that now. So she lights it. She lights the Zippo, and she tells the Scarecrow to burn in hell. Tosses the lighter Scarecrow, which goes up in flames. Now you would think that would be it, right?
Yeah, they show the burning.
I know, I did.
They showed the body burning. The body it's basically burned away to nothing.
And this is a very logical way to end this elephant turd of a movie.
Sure.
But fuck no. The elephant shit gets even fucking weirder here.
This is when it gets the gear shifts to what?
And in case you're wondering, the burning effects were shit too. Because it was, well, the very first one. Because the first one was that same shit we saw in like Sharkenstein and other movies where it's like they just flash fire on top of it. And like, the guy's couldn't fire.
Yeah,
whoa,
that was funny.
And
that
then
was funny.
When they actually burn just a fake Scarecrow, then it's a real burn.
It looks like it's a, yeah, it looks,
except
it
for
looks
the scene
right.
where the Scarecrow's arms are like, he's doing like the YMCA pose. He's like,
yeah.
Like, you can't see
arms akimbo.
But they're not straight out. They're like up,
up.
He's doing the YMCA, but his wrists, his hands are like turned out.
His arms are fabulous.
He's like fabulous. He's like doing a fabulous YMCA pose or like a dance. He's like, hey.
It's like what your gay cousin will be doing at your at the wedding, you know?
Yeah.
YMCA.
Yeah. And he's on fire. So yeah, that.
More flaming jokes involved there too.
Yep.
Oh
boy.
Sorry about that. It was just too easy.
But as Scarecrow burns, we see a swirling ball of yellow energy fly out of the Scarecrow and vanish.
Huh?
So I'm like, okay, maybe now it's over. The magical energy's gone, right?
Yeah,
okay, sure.
You
nope, it's not over. That ain't it. Creepy Harold pops back up behind Trixie, grabs her while saying, "You stupid bitch. Who do you think? You think you can kill Scarecrow?"
Harold, how could you say that?
She claws at his burnt face, which, by the way, isn't burnt anymore. The black and charred makeup
now
is
it's
completely
bloody.
gone.
Now it's a bloody face.
And they just replaced with some fake blood they smeared on his side of his face. CH falls to the ground, says, "Thank you for showing Creepy Harold a little." You know, fuck this. Then he dies. I'm playing this. I have this clip. We're gonna see. This might be the last clip I have.
I'm gonna drink all your beer if you keep doing this.
Well, go ahead. You deserve it for watching this movie. So here's the clip. Well, turns out I don't have that clip.
I deleted it. No more clips.
So what happened is he says that you stupid bitch. You think you stupid bitch? Do you think you killed Scarecrow? She claws his face, like basically takes a fingernail, claws his face. He falls to the ground. Then says, "Thank you for showing Creepy Harold a little kindness." And then he just fucking dies.
He seemingly dies.
He just dies. Like, what the shit is happening?
He falls back after getting his face scratched.
Yeah.
And goes.
You know what I haven't? I did record this clip. I recorded it, but I never. I never finished it because, like, you know what? I don't know if I really need this one. I never actually imported it in, so whatever. It doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah, you know what he sounds like.
Yeah, you guys got it by now.
You get it.
But the thing to do is that he gets clawed in the face and then dies.
Yeah.
From the stupid.
Yeah.
So,
So then you're like, okay, end the movie.
So yeah, he goes from calling her a stupid bitch and threatening her to thanking her for being nice, even though she somehow kills him by scratching his face. That's a giant, and from one spectrum to the other.
Woo, that's a bipolar move right there.
So with both Scarecrow and Creepy Harold both dead, you would think it has to be over, right? Well, you'd be fucking wrong, because hell no, it ain't over yet. Because now we cut to Scarecrow somehow still beating heart. Now hold on to your butts, Moon Goons. Hold on tight. Because now we see rising up from the burnt remains of Scarecrow is absolutely horrendous looking CG stick monster with a jack-o'-lantern for a head. At this point, I just took my notebook and threw it over my shoulder, and I'm done. The notebook went, whoop, it's gone. I'm done with this movie. I can't anymore.
So there is a jack-o'-lantern headed
stick monster.
I mean, it looks like
it's made of sticks.
Sticks.
It's not. It's sticks.
Sticks. I thought maybe it's like Jack Skelton's methed out cousin, Jim Bob Skelton, now on the prowl, needing meth and just on a bender.
This movie was made in 2009, and this pumpkin-headed stick monster looks like the shit you saw in the old Army of Darkness and Evil Dead movies. It's that same almost stop-motion, clay-motion-looking effects.
But Ray Harryhausen's work back in
in that time, or like Clash of the Titans or something like that.
Yes,
not in 2009. This is, like I said, the notebook just went. I'm done. So Trixie runs and tries to hide in one of the cars. Pumpkin-headed stick monster finds her easily, attacks her through the window. She gets away and runs off again. She runs to another larger barn. This time she tries to close the large rolling doors, but Pumpkinhead Stick Monster stops her. So she grabs a pitchfork and stabs at it repeatedly. Not having any luck with that, she drops...
Because he's made of sticks?
Sticks, and there's nothing to stab, really? She drops it and runs for the ladder that leads up to the hayloft, or at least to another loft or landing or something. She gets grabbed around the ankle by the Pumpkinhead Stick Monster, who instead of easily killing her, which he has so much time to do, just seems to stand there lightly tugging on her ankle. Now we cut to Harold, who starts to move. I guess he's not dead now. And at a snail's fucking pace begins to crawl towards the barn.
Oh, yeah.
Trixie's crying out and begging. Somehow she sees Harold, which through she has X-ray vision now and
psychic
can see
connection.
through. Yeah,
it's like a psychic connection. She's like, Harold, you can stop this. You have the power to stop
this. It's like
this,
Obi-Wan
Harold.
and Luke Skywalker. Luke used he's hearing voice. Like, what is happening?
Yeah,
there's no way she can see him. Her back is turned to him. She's
up
on a ladder.
She's fighting with Pumpkinhead Stick Monster,
and he's on the other side of a wall, crawling through the grass at a slower than a snail,
turtle's pace. And she's like, "You can do it, Harold."
Yeah, she's crying, begging for help. Stick Monster is tugging on her ankle while she stands on the ladder.
So I'm like, okay,
but
Harold's gonna save the day somehow.
And we made it sound way more suspenseful. There's zero suspense or sense of danger in this at all.
And this scene goes on for a good 3-4 minutes.
Yeah. And Pumpkinhead Stick Monster could have easily killed Trixie 3 or 4 times over during this. But he's not even trying to kill her. He's not like slicing at her.
Holding her,
he's just holding her ankle
holding her
and
ankle.
tugging on her. It's like the annoying, your annoying little brother grabs the back of your shirt or something, just keeps tugging on your shirt.
Like,
hey. Like, that's basically what's happening here. So, Harold continues his glacial speed crawl.
Nice.
And then we watch as Tracy just seems to pass out or fall asleep for no fucking reason.
Yeah.
She's like, help me. And then she just
seems
passes out.
To give up.
She's like, I'm done. I'm falling
She's
asleep.
like, you can end it. You can.
Yeah, and she falls asleep. She slides down like one rung of the ladder and somehow manages to impale herself on the pitchfork and dies. Which the pitchfork she dropped by the door, but now is somehow propped up underneath the ladder or behind it, and she impales herself on it, even though she doesn't even fall off the ladder. She's just...
I thought
nothing about that makes sense.
The pumpkin-headed stick monsters took the pitchfork
and stabbed her
and had it with him as he was pulling on her leg, which made it even more ridiculous that he didn't just
kill her.
Stab her.
Maybe if he were to stab her, fine, be done with it. But she just basically falls asleep, slides down one rung, and then you see a wide shot.
It's impaled,
and she has the pitchfork impaled through her stomach. You don't see how it happened. It's just there.
Just there.
And like, what the fuck? So, anyway, Creepy Howard calls out to Scarecrow. He's like, Scarecrow! And then he seems to die again. He dies again.
And he just out.
We cut to the next morning, and we now go back to normal Scarecrow, propped back up on a stick in Harold's backyard.
So we're back to Harold's house, back in the backyard. Scarecrow's perfectly fine. It's a completely, even though we saw it completely burned
to ash,
but it's there again.
There.
So maybe he made a new one. But
and then we
there.
see motherfucking Harold walk into view, who we've seen die twice so far.
He's got like his morning coffee. He's got the paper. He's like, hey, how's it going, Scarecrow?
He does have some sort of trauma makeup on his face from the burn, which looks kind of like they just smeared chocolate mousse on his cheek or something like that. Again, not very great. Now, this is the final clip I'm playing for you. This is the final clip of the day. And this is Harold's amazing final monologue of his big plans now. So much to unpack with this.
Why are you doing this to me?
Because I can.
Well, hello, Scarecrow. It was an interesting night, wasn't it? I suspect the police will be here soon, so you must rest here and be quiet as a mouse. No one will suspect you. I must hide till all this business dies down. Maybe, with any luck, they'll count me as one of the missing. We'll be planning our Halloween for next year very soon. It'll even be better than this year. And look at all the help we'll have. Oh, and by the way, happy Halloween.
So that's
it.
That's it. He says happy Halloween. He walks off screen and the Scarecrow's eyes glow purple. Blackout. Roll credits. That's how this turd fest ends.
But during that scene, they're kind of alluding, saying, that we're gonna do even a better Halloween next year. It's gonna be even better. We're gonna have all this help. And you heard the boom.
Yes, we have to unpack this honestly because so much of this is nonsense. It just stupid. It's fucking. So when Harold says we'll have help next time, when you hear the dun 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 dun, the camera cuts to close-ups of all the dead characters that Scarecrow's killed.
Yeah, the Scarecrow has killed.
Harold has
the body count.
Yeah, all the body count. Harold is, or at least the main ones. DJ and Random Drunk Dude aren't there. I don't think. No. But Harold has now also turned them into scarecrows by propping them up on sticks in his back fucking yard.
In his backyard.
In his backyard.
He has transported the dead from the party location to his backyard and propped them up as
Scarecrows.
So they're now in different poses, and they're all in the backyard with their faces drained. They look. They put the makeup in.
They put some great
to try and
paint
make
on
them. So I mean,
they tried. Yeah.
A for effort.
And another sign of this movie's horrible terribleness is that its own filmmakers don't care enough about the wound continuity, because this is what I talked about earlier.
Yeah.
Because it shows JJ, who I mentioned, when he gets killed by the axe to the face, he gets chopped in the left side of his face. But when we see the close-up of him in this reveal, the axe wound is on his right side.
It's so much smaller.
And it's not, and the first time, when you first see it, it's a massive axe wound first. Now we see it, it's basically a little drop of blood around his eye.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Really bad.
It's unexcusable how bad this is.
Really bad.
Also, can we talk about how he says maybe the cops will think he's among the other missing people? What fucking missing people? It certainly can't be the dead people, because they ain't missing. You've turned them into scarecrows in your back fucking yard. I'm pretty sure that makes him suspect number one. And I think it'll be fairly hard to hide and lay low when the cops are searching for you, because you have all the dead bodies propped up for display in your backyard. What?
Well, maybe that's why there wasn't a sequel.
Fuck this movie, man. Fuck this movie.
Maybe Harold wasn't so sharp. Maybe he got caught pretty quick. Maybe that's why they didn't have a great Halloween next year. Maybe that's why there's no Halloween Night 2 2010, because Harold, he assumed he was a mastermind. And when the police came by, they're like, yeah, you're guilty. You have all the dead bodies in the backyard. He's like, oh, dang.
But I am innocent. All right, so that's the fucking movie. Let's move on to favorite kills.
There can be only one. Favorite kill.
Aaron, what you got this week for favorite kills?
I'm kind of torn between two.
All right.
I did like the nose smash.
Nick, okay.
Lifting it up, and you can see him wiggling his fingers around in the nose, and it's making gross sound effects, and you hear a snap, and it was kind of cool. I mean, that's the first time I can think of a kill by nose pick.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
You've seen things put into noses, but like fingers?
Yeah.
That might be a first. I like that, but I think and the other one is TCC, Tim Curry's cousin,
yes,
getting beheaded. It's between those two.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna go with the nose pick.
Nose pick.
I'm gonna go with he palms the bald head like a basketball, puts his fingers in nose. He all of a sudden levitates towards the ceiling. And they did a upshot out of him, like screwing around, wiggling around his fingers in his nose, and he's dead. I like the uniqueness of it, so that's my favorite kill.
Yeah. When I was thinking the punching through the skull, but as soon as they showed it from that front angle, like, nope, you ruined it. If you would have done it from the side, you probably would. I would probably bet that's probably my favorite kill, but they ruined it by showing it from the front. But you're right, the nose. I don't know. When I first saw it, I was like, this might be one of the stupidest things I've ever seen. But the Tim Curry's cousin axe beheaded is a pretty good, decapitation. And JJ getting an axe to the face, it might be the best makeup effect in the movie, so that gets points there too. But it's just an axe to the face. But it's hard to argue with the effects because everything in this movie is terrible. And when you have one semi-decent one, it makes it stand out that much.
It does. It shines.
It shines so much more. But yeah, I think I'm gonna go with you though. I'm gonna go with Nick and the nose. The nose.
Really?
Yeah, because it's unique. It is a first, even though it is kind of stupid, but because everything about this movie is so fucking is stupid. It's at least that was unique, like you said, unique and different.
Yeah.
So I'll agree. We'll both say Nick with the nose.
Okay, all right.
Pick of death.
Nose pick of death.
Let's move on to odds and ends.
Just when you thought it was over, here comes the odds and ends.
All right, so ratings. IMDb gives it a 4.7 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes, it is not even on the site in any capacity.
You got a 4.7 out of 10?
Yeah, that's high. Not even on Rotten Tomatoes, so not even an audience score. Mm-hmm. Amazon gives it a 2.6 out of 5.
That's pretty low for Amazon. Yeah. That's pretty low for Amazon.
Plot keywords, there were only 4 plot keywords. So
can I try and guess them?
Go ahead.
Scarecrow.
That's number 1.
All right. Axe.
No.
Halloween.
Halloween. That's number 2.
Okay. Boy, I got 2 more to go. 52-year-old posing as college students.
I wish, but no.
Okay, what are the other 2?
Halloween party and Halloween costume.
Well, fuck me. Medicare recipient. Is that one?
I love it. That's it. Trivia. There was nothing I could find really worth even mentioning about this movie.
Other than they did Sharkenstein, which we've already talked about. There was the security guard.
Yeah.
In this movie, that's the director. That's one of the brothers, the Plato brothers.
Polonia or whatever.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, that's the Polonia brothers.
So there's our trivia. I don't know if it's Mark or Dead John, but sorry, I shouldn't say John.
It's Mark. Yeah.
Okay.
A little respect for the dead.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was wrong of me. I apologize. All right, so that's that. But we do get to play the budget game.
It's now time to play everyone's favorite game. Guess the budget.
All right, Aaron. The look on Aaron's face is priceless right now. What do you want to take a guess is the budget for the 2009 Halloween night?
I know this movie was a budget of like nothing. I mean, it is so low. But how low do you go in 2009?
Yeah.
2009. It's so hard when you get to this low. I'm going to guess $4,000.
Bang, 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 bang. You won both showcases. You motherfucker. Either you cheated or you I don't know how, but you guessed it on the dot. $4,000 estimated budget for this movie. Congratulations. Both showcases are yours. Enjoy your trip to Jamaica and your washer dryer set and your new can opener.
I knew it.
Oh, you knew it?
I knew it, yeah. But honestly, I probably would have guessed under 10 grand when I was guessing, you know. But it was an accident because I was looking up because I was like, hold on, is that guy in Sharkenstein? And so when I looked at the movie, one of the first things that pops out was like, this budget was, I was like, fuck. And I just saw it because I wanted to see if that was the guy from Sharkenstein. I wanted to see if it was Ken Van Zant.
Ken Van Zant.
Yeah, is that Ken?
Is that old Ken?
Is that old Kenny?
Is that Ken Dog?
Is Kenny back? Is old K-Dog here to play another role? Shit, can't get enough of that guy. And then I saw the budget and I was like, fuck.
All right. So, well, fuck that then. That you're gonna...
Hey, but
you're getting the asterisk next to that one in the history
fair
book.
enough, fair enough. And
there's no you wiped from the history book.
When I said $4,000, I thought for sure you'd be like, motherfucker.
A part of me did.
Yeah.
There's a part of me like, ew.
I can tell you started celebrating, and then you're like, hold on.
Yeah. But I was like, oh, you know what? Whatever.
That was right on. There's been a few I've gotten right on the nose.
I know. That has. That's why I was like,
But those were complete speculation and like dumb luck. This one, I was like, yeah, I saw it.
So moving on to 5-star reviews.
These special movies have a place in these special people's hearts. 5-star reviews.
And holy fucking shit, guys.
There
are 5-star reviews of this. Amazon, there's only 9 total reviews for this movie. 9 in total.
9 total.
43% are 1 star. And there's only 1 5-star review.
Ooh la la.
5 stars from Jay West. It's not quite like a Jason movie, but it is a slasher. I enjoy this quite well. No nudity or sex scenes, but that sucks. But it's got gore. You can't go wrong with gore. It made me laugh out loud when this drunk guy said, I have to take a crap, then farted. Never mind. Love this horror, suspenseful fright for a Halloween night. 5 stars. There we go.
You made it without burping.
Now, before I go on to the 1-star review.
I don't know if it's as funny, though.
It's not. I did write a 7 out of 10 from IMDb. Just the kind of, So from Justin Buckwalter, this movie was awesome and will really rock your mind. Creepy Harold is a horror icon on par with the likes of Norman Bates, Freddy Krueger, Michael Myers, Jason Voorhees, and the Camp Blood Killer Clown. The ageless Ken Van Sant was perfect for the role of the 52-year-old college student babe magnet. Danielle O'Donoghue was the star once again, even though she wasn't the lead. The movie borders on a perfect 10, but the casting of Todd Carpenter is hard to get past. His performance is on par with any Jeff Kirkendall, of any of Jeff Kirkendall's. If you don't know who Jeff Kirkendall is, and you shouldn't, he is the worst actor on the planet. Carpenter gives him a run for that title, but falls just short. If you are a fan of Polonium movies that feature Danielle O'Donoghue and Ken Van Sant, then you will enjoy this amazingly executed story of horror. Gather your friends, grab the popcorn and beer, and settle in for a fun, frightful night of laughs and gas. 7 out of 10.
Oh, this guy's a fan.
Yeah. Danielle O'Donoghue was the girl who played Liz, and we commented on her. She actually was pretty good.
Yeah, she was actually a decent.
Yeah, decent.
She was probably the
best in this movie.
Best in this movie.
Yeah.
Might be able to hold her own in other indie movies.
Yes, I agree. 1-star reviews from Kindle Customer AZ. I don't know, Kingdom Custom Merch AZ. Well, is the 40-year-old guy worried? I don't know. Why is the 40-year-old guy worried about mommy and daddy finding out about his party? Not bad in a fun way, just bad. 1 star.
Yeah.
From E. Taylor, titled Why? Bad execution in camera shots, acting, actors, editing. I question anyone's review higher than 1 star. Bad film. 1 star. From David J. Wuzelbacher. I wish I had seen this before adding it to my list of movies for Halloween. This is not even a movie, it's a video. It looks exactly like somebody used their home video equipment and edited on iMac Final Cut Pro and used GarageBand music. Also, it was, without a doubt, the worst example of editing that I've ever seen. It's worse than any one of the classroom kids who are just learning how to edit. I knew within 5 seconds that this was not at all what I thought I was purchasing. The DVD itself had just a sticky top that said someone printed Halloween Night on.
Yes.
Yeah. Nobody should ever be able to just create their own video and sell it on Amazon unless it's clear in the product description that this was made by an amateur, which it clearly was. I think I learned my lesson never to buy anything without watching it first. Please don't waste your money or time with this awful video. 1 star. Poor bastard. But you get what you deserve. You bought
Kinda, yeah.
If you just purchase this without blind.
Yeah, I'll buy that, sure.
Buy that. From ATPHX, last one. Am I the only one here that thought most of the actors were reading most of their lines and not acting? 2, actors were way too old for their parts. They were playing like mid-30s, playing pranks on an older adult that even a 20-year-old wouldn't do. So bad it wasn't even worth paying attention to. I wish I had I watched a lot of bad horror movies that are just fun to watch. This was not one of them. 1 star. So that's going. We've going long with this movie. So let's break down our final thought. Aaron, go ahead, take it away.
So bad it's scary. Yeah. I mean, it's easy. There's nothing really redeeming about this film. We talked about this last week. I mean, when you have an independent film, you accentuate the positives, you hide the negatives. Their positives was actually gore. They actually did a decent job with their kills and with some of their kills, some of their makeup, not all of them. But that was the strongest point. Your acting was fucking pathetic, horribly bad. But you make the movie with the army you have, not the army you want, right? Isn't that what Donald Rumsfeld said once? but you can make up for that with the writing. You can make up with that with the writing. And let's face it, you have actors who are 52 years old, 40 years old, 108 years old. You shouldn't be having a college Halloween party.
Yeah.
Fucking change a few things.
Yeah.
It can't be that goddamn complicated, that goddamn hard. You can still have a Halloween party, but fuck me. Yeah. It was so distracting, and it just took you right out of it. So bad it's scary. God damn it. Don't watch this movie.
Yeah. Right there. So bad it's scary. So many things. Everything with this movie is wrong. Pretty much everything about it. And I mean, you're telling me the people made it. You couldn't get some college kids to do this,
right?
Like every other movie, like there's tons of college kids, 20 years who will do cheap movies. Like, fuck, why are you casting 50-year-olds in college movies? Like, you want to cast Ken Van Sant? Fine, catch him as the neighbor or something. I don't know, or the maybe he's the cool college dad.
I bought the beer. I'm going to hang out.
Or maybe he's like the weird townie that everybody knows that just shows up. I don't know, but come on.
It doesn't take a lot of effort to find a way to squeeze in the actors that you want. If you want, like you said, if you want Ken Van Zandt, I get it. Fine. You have a guy that you want to work with. But making him a college student is ridiculous.
It is. Also, speaking of that, Todd Carpenter may be literally the worst actor I have ever seen in any movie ever. And that's saying a lot considering the movies we've seen. And what makes it even crazier is that this fucker has 18 credits. 18! That means he's been hired to be an actor in 18 fucking movies. And they're all cheap indie movies and B movies. I'll give him that, but still, 18 times he's been hired to be in a movie. He has the exact same amount of acting credits as Daniel Donahue. Daniel Donahue. Wait, Donahoe? Right, Donahue. Jesus Christ. Who played Liz, by the way. And she's fucking acting like she's like acting God compared to everybody else in this movie. And they have the exact same amount of credits. That blows my mind. And like, how does this happen? What kind of world are we living in where this guy has been in a movie 18 times, but people like Mercedes Varble from Bunny or Katie Bosacki from Knucklebones only have one credit to their name? I tell you, that's not a world I want to live in. So bad it's scary. Fuck this movie. Never watch this thing. I'm done.
All right.
I'm done.
Dude, I like your callbacks to Knucklebones and Bunny. Yeah, two of the movies that we've done where the actresses were very good.
Yeah.
They were good actresses. They knocked it out of the park, but they only have one credit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's that, guys. I'm done with this movie. Take a deep breath. Thank you for pairing with us and sticking with us through all that. That's hope you enjoyed the show. We'll be back.
And that's what we did for Halloween.
That's how we spent our Halloween.
That's how we spent our Halloween.
Well, not really, because this will be released before Halloween, but yeah.
Yeah, but it's our Halloween episode.
Yeah, well, next week could be Halloween, because next week's episode would actually be closer to Halloween than this one will be.
No.
Yeah. Halloween's on a Thursday. We record on a
I'm playing Price is Right rules, baby. Halloween's this Thursday. We record on Sundays, release on Mondays.
Yeah.
So it'll be after.
It'll be, well, yeah, whatever. Anyway, it doesn't matter. We'll be back. Until then, guys, remember to watch more horror movies and always keep it tight.